you doing? Welcome to the Baked Book. Today I want to do a segment. I feel like I always have to do that. Like I'm always just like sitting like this and then I say the intro like, hey, how you doing? And then I'm like, today I want to talk about buddy reads and just kind of like a general, what is it? How do you do it? Because when I first got to BookTube, I knew nothing about BookTube. But one of my favorite things about BookTube so far has been having buddy reads. And now I think it's like Book Buddy-a-thon. And I'm not doing it, but I was planning on making this video anyway, and I was like, whatever, it's like a good time right now because everybody's buddy reading. And I just think they're really important for the community. And one thing that books lack that other sorts of media does is just like, there's an audience that people can talk about it with. And I think that reading books together is a way to like bring us all together as a community to talk about things and have that same conversation. Instead of having it being such an isolated hobby, have it be something that you can share. Which obviously, if you're watching this, you're kind of into like the BookTube community or like the online book community somehow. So you feel me on a little bit. How do you start a buddy read? Well, this is just kind of like my philosophy in life. And this is just how I kind of do things. I am very forceful, I guess. If I see something and I really like it, I'll like be like, hey, what is that? Can I do that? Like, can I do that with you? So for example, if I'm online and I see that somebody that I really like and maybe want to like get to know more is reading a book that I'm also interested in, I'll be like, hey, let's buddy read, you know, in the comment section or whatever on YouTube. One thing, I feel like a lot of the action about BookTube doesn't really happen on BookTube. I feel like it happens more on Twitter and Instagram. I don't know how you guys feel about that. I don't even know if you can like DM on YouTube. Maybe you can, but I just like DM people on like Twitter and Instagram. Hey, let's read this book together. What do you think? And you know, they'll be like, yeah. And then one of like the most important things about like setting a buddy read is like to set a date. I've definitely like had buddy reads where we're just kind of like, yeah, I'll start around this time, and then we both like ended up reading other books and then finished it around the same time, and you can do that too. But it just kind of depends on like what kind of buddy reader you are. I would say I'm like, I don't know. I've done it on like a few platforms. Like this past one, I did like a pretty big group buddy read. Bree Hill, Charles Explosion, and Samantha Leanne, and we all did it on Voxer. And I've never done Voxer before, but that was so good for buddy reading. It was literally like we were in like a mobile book club together, and I really liked it because you can do like voice things. You can record your voice and then it just instantly uploads into like a chat room, so you don't have to like type with your thumbs, which can be really exhausting sometimes. And I really like that. And then sometimes I've done some more low-key ones. I did one on Goodreads and we just kind of like checked in when we started, in the middle, and in the end, just on like really long messages. But like Goodreads probably isn't like the best one for me because I don't really check Goodreads that much. But I've done I don't know if I've ever done them on Instagram. I think most of them have been on Twitter. And yeah, like I think the favorite is like when you can kind of like get it to the page where you are just like reading the same thing at like the same time. So I think buddy reads might work better for other people who like read multiple books at the same time, but I cannot do that because I get confused and like I'll really lose interest in one book. So I really have to like focus on one book. So if you're with like doing a buddy read and they're like, you're also like focusing on one book, it can just be like magic. And I'm really into that. I'm about to do a buddy read, not on the internet, like it's one of my friends that I met, like a new friend, I guess, and we don't live in like the same town, and we met for work, and we're gonna like do a buddy read over text message, because why not? And I feel like in today's day and age, it's really easy to lose contact with people you care about, especially like, you really have to make an effort. Like I used to be a hardcore letter writer, and I haven't really done that in a couple years. Maybe even 3, I don't know. It's been a minute, but I feel like reading a book with someone that you really care about and you want to keep in contact with is a really good way that you like can have things to talk about and, you know, like catch up on books together, or even just like reading similar books and like not at the same time and talking about it. I feel like it's like really helped my relationships a lot because I don't really live by a ton of like my old friends, you know, like I keep up with a lot of people, but it's just like through texting, and I'm a phone talker. That's a good question. Like, how many people on YouTube are phone talkers? Because I bet you guys are. Like, that's why you started YouTube, because like everybody was tired of you talking their ass off on the phone, and you're like, you know what, I'm gonna go on the YouTube and I'm gonna talk to people who care about what I have to say. Right? Like, I really think it's special to like read a book with somebody and to be able to read it together and to like discuss and just kind of like strengthen the bond about it. I feel like buddy reading for me is less about the book and more about like the discussion, which I like really, really dig. If you guys are buddy reading fans, tell me like what is your favorite like platform to like check up on, and maybe you do something that I've never done before, you know? And there was like a point there like a couple months ago where like almost every single book I read was with somebody else, and I really, really enjoyed that. And it might not be for everybody, but I really dig it. Community of readers. That's all I have to say. Happy May, everyone. What is today? I don't know. It's like almost, oh my God, it's almost like the middle of May. Is it though? What's the middle of May? Like May 15th, so maybe it's not. It's still the beginning of May, but it's just all happening so quick. I will talk to you guys later, sooner than later, I promise. I really miss this, like making videos, so I want to make more of them. So that's all I have, but I love you guys so much, and feel free to subscribe and let me know how your preferred method of buddy reading. Bye. I just really love Dumbledore's Army. I thought that was amazing. It was so cool to see the kids get together and practice.